We've made a wrong turn. Me and Courtney have ended up in Darkness Falls, and I believe I'm losing a tooth. This is the Wrong Turn Podcast. What's going on, Courtney?
Your last tooth.
My last baby tooth. I just lost it, at the young age of 40.
Actually, that's probably a bigger issue. If you're losing your teeth.
Luckily, knock on wood, I got pretty decent teeth.
Me too. Also, knock on wood. I also have great dental genes.
So, I mean, I've definitely had some friends that like in their 20s and early 30s of like, oh, I gotta go, I got this wrong with my tooth and I gotta replace this and I gotta do this, which, is a real fear, going to the dentist and having your fucking teeth worked on. Something that this movie could have played on, but fucking didn't.
And we'll get into that.
Yeah. Before we get into that, let's do a couple of, well, you said you haven't seen anything recently, right?
No, I've been doing well, just crazy, busy work week. So nothing's really horror related. I did tell you that I started to watch Final Destination Bloodlines, which I've seen already, the other night, but then I got like 25 minutes in and then went back to what I was originally watching, just.
But why? What happened? Were you just like over it? We were just like weren't into it?
I just decided that like I was gonna start cooking dinner. And normally I will just leave like comfort shows on as like background sound. And I think I truly did want to watch it. So I was like, I'm not going to leave this on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not that.
So maybe that's a good reason. But then I just never went back to it.
I just thought you were completely over. You're like, nah, fuck this.
I didn't do that great this week in terms of watching things. I still need to watch Death of a Unicorn. So that might be on my list tonight, but can't talk about that just yet.
Yeah, let us know. I don't think I'm gonna watch it, so I think I'm all right.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
You can let me know. I think
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think the only thing I saw was I got a pleasant surprise. Sometimes I'll watch stuff on Alter's YouTube channel, and they're just like constantly streaming horror movies 24/7. And then I came across this movie called The Convent 2000. The movie that asks the question, what happens if you make a copy of a copy of a copy? Basically, I was just like, so the movie The Convent from 2000, which I'm like, looks a little bit older than that, but we had this conversation before, like it's basically late 90s, and it's a bunch of friends going to a burned down convent because they heard that there was a massacre of a bunch of nuns and priests back then. It's basically demons. Like it's basically like the Italian version of Demons, where it's just like they go to a house, shit fucking ensues, they resurrect a bunch of demons, and the demons go chasing and killing everybody, very zombie-esque style. It is actually kind of fun. I've never heard of this movie before, and it was super schlocky, and I was like, okay, pleasant surprise. I'm gonna add it to the list of not bad. I'd rewatch it again for fun, 100%.
Okay, I like that though.
Yeah. Starring Adrienne Barbeau randomly.
That is random.
As like a supporting character, and then a bunch of like other people I've never ever heard of that you've probably never seen, in a bunch of stereotypes. Like I'm just like, okay, we got some hard tropes in this movie, but we're not here for that. We're here for it was actually a really funny scene. I'm gonna spoil it, but it's a really there's to resurrect the Antichrist, as you do, you'd have to sacrifice a virgin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then we have, one of our protagonist's brother, who's just happens to be a virgin, along with some sort of other satanic worshiper who's also a virgin, who are tied to a table. And the guy's just like, hey man, if we have sex right now, we're no longer virgins, and then we don't have to deal with this right now. I'm just like, and I'm just like, yeah, it's pretty progressive, pretty good.
Solve this right now.
We can solve this right now. And of course, in like early 2000s fashion, he he fucking reacts very grossly, but whatever. I'm like, hey man, if you're about to die, like I'm sure there's easier ways, there's worse ways to get out of this than
Yes.
taking one for the team.
Yes.
I was like, I actually I thought it was really, really funny as far as like that. Like we can handle this situation right now. And it's just between you and me right now. Like, and they would never, and we might survive.
Yeah.
I was like, it was pretty good.
Unfortunately for you, we might survive.
Yeah, that was the other guy's argument. It's like, well, then they'll just eat us.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I guess. But yeah,
Just I like that though. That's funny.
it was pretty good. It was definitely worth a fun Saturday night, for sure. I
Okay.
don't think I've seen anything else other than that right now. Yeah, it's been a short week. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so we'll just get right into it. So speaking of 2000s movies, this
Is
is
this
probably
2003?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
2000. So this is
That
2000.
tracks.
It looks like 2000. It
It
feels like
looks
2003. This is
yep.
like height 2003 horror movie. It's just saturated
Just
with that.
think things we've watched already. So like House on Haunted Hill or Ghost Ship. Like it reads that kind of bullshit.
100%. 100, like even with like soundtrack by a bunch of bands that are no longer in existence. Like
Yes.
it's yeah. Here's the hardest metal new rock you've
Oh,
ever listened to
those end
with song
credits. Metal.
with titles of songs like Hand of Emptiness. And I'm just I
Okay, wait,
that's that.
no. You have to do it like an infomercial. Remember like back in the late late
Wow, that's what I call music. Is
Yeah.
that Hand of Emptiness?
And
It
other
is.
great hits like
Oh let's just get actually into it because the soundtrack we're deteriorating we're getting away a little bit from it. We're not really because the soundtrack made it to the Wikipedia page, because that's how integral this fucking soundtrack is. Give me the where the fuck
is
did it
Papa
go?
Roach on that soundtrack?
Oh, I mean, you wouldn't be surprised, right?
Right. But while you're looking that up, remember I remember being rather terrified of this movie for some reason. And that's how I kind of went into this because I haven't seen it in years. I don't think I've seen it since, I don't know, 2003. Maybe not, but I maybe because the first 15 minutes are actually quite entertaining. And I think that was the part that I remember being scared of. Because as far as the rest of the movie, wow. Wow. It's a short 74 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, it's not very long.
The movie could have just been a short. We're gonna just
I think the brevity of the movie has to do with a lot of the editing that probably went involved.
there's a
I got
lot of
the original
editing.
soundtrack here, but I don't think this is the like special soundtrack. I don't know, probably.
Did you just
All
go to
right.
the Wikipedia page?
Yeah, I think this is just like the soundtrack for like the music that was made for the movie. Like, yeah, this is just because this doesn't have any band titles on it. The whatchamacallit. So then all right, so we have I was based off of a short, if I remember correctly. And I think the writer of that short was this guy named Joe Harris. It is a co-Australian production. It is rated, what is it, like 3 out of 10 or something like that right now. It did make its money back. So on a
Yeah.
something like $11 million budget, it made
So
something
not a
close to.
complete flop. It made
I,
its money back.
I'm surprised there weren't actually more. Like you easily could have had a bunch of fucking Darkness Falls direct to video sequels. Easily. I'm always
Yes.
here for a bad sequel.
Actually, you know what? Maybe the sequel could have been better. Maybe they could have
Maybe.
Or maybe we could have gotten that guy, Kyle, is that his name? Shot of fresh off of like JQ. Like
Yeah,
he's like
it's a very generic looking dude. It's
yeah,
pretty
but attractive. But we're supposed to believe like he's been in a mental institution for the last 10 years because he's just like loading
tends
up
to.
on antipsychotics. Um,
That's that's a little well, let's bury the hold on, before
yeah,
we
I'm
get into the
sorry. You're
premise of the
better at
movie.
leading this.
No,
But
no, no, no.
boy, does
We're
he
good.
tell us to, stay in the light.
The all right, so 2003, right? We had movies like Kangaroo Jack, Biker Boys, No Destination 2. So there were some
Okay.
City of God, but I don't think that was like in major theaters. There's not a lot out there. I know a month after this, I saw Brotherhood of the Wolf, that French movie about werewolves, not werewolves, in the theater. So, but this movie completely, like you said, this movie scared you at first. I never watched this movie. I was like, I was a little gatekeepy at the time with my horror movies, and if it wasn't like
Yeah, you
80s
were really
nostalgia,
this was the age when you were very, pompous.
oh, 100%. Like very well, like if it's not something I already like, it's no good.
Yes. You're like, "If it wasn't for
And
the art."
yeah, yeah. Oh, Freddy Krueger 5, Freddy's
Yeah.
dead, then I'm not fucking doing it, obviously.
Yeah.
The so I don't think I watched a lot of new like I didn't watch Jeepers Creepers even though like back then I probably would have hated it, but it's grown on me since. And this movie isn't 100% bad. It's not
Yeah.
terrible. It's not
No.
great,
I mean
but
that when I said it moves quickly. It's 74 minutes, it moves quickly.
in the IMDb trivia, they gave you that this movie had to have an 11-minute credit scene to make a theatrical cut. That was like, I was like, I was watching those credits at the end because it was like super early 2000. It's
Oh,
fire.
it's
It,
the
it
metal music and, like,
yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god.
Blurred letters and they're coming
Ooh,
across the
edgy.
screen super edgy,
Ooh.
and I'm like, this is a long fucking scene. Like it just keeps on going because I was
Yeah.
just playing
You're
it in the
like,
background.
"I've read this
um
name 8 times now."
hey, there you go, there's director again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go jump into our premise. So, a supernatural horror film directed by John Leavesman, adapted by the short film, The Tooth Fairy. It is an Australian American production, and we do have the story of we start off with the mid 19th century, where there is this young lady named Martha Dixon who is the moniker of the Tooth Fairy because she likes to give children in her town of Darkness Falls gold coins for their teeth. When two of the boys subsequently go missing after they turn into their teeth, she is framed for their murders and is burned and hanged. As soon as the kids is burned and hanged, and as she is burning, she curses the town of Darkness Falls that if she cannot, well, I think there's like a quote that's in the IMDb, or the quote there's in the Wikipedia page that is not in the movie, which is a pretty sick line, which I think it says that what I could not have in life, I will take in revenge, or some shit like that, which was like, oh, that's pretty fucking solid. Like they should have
Okay.
included that. That was pretty good. And then the boys show up. The town is like an oopsie daisy, and then bury her, and then they just kind of never talk about it again, leading to the urban myth of Martha Dixon that if you see her on the evening that you give your last tooth away, then you might get murdered, which is there's a lot of rules there for
There's
an
a lot
urban
of
legend.
rules,
Yeah.
but it was only for children.
Yes.
Yes. And because it was, yes, the eve of you losing your last tooth, and if you see her, then she'll get you.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm like, all right, that's a
Okay.
lot of, maybe is that where we started going wrong, you think?
I don't know.
The last tooth ordeal? Because it could have just been
Because
any tooth.
when does, like, not being I mean, I guess, like, because she doesn't want her face to be seen, that's
Yeah.
why she hates the light.
Or because she died in a fire?
She died in a
She,
fire. Because she has
yeah, that's
this whole
actually a good point.
Phantom of the Opera mask.
Yeah. Which I thought was made of teeth. And I guess it's
It
maybe
would've been
confirmed at the end of the
cooler
movie.
if it was made of
Yeah.
teeth. I would have liked to seen more teeth artwork, teeth
Uh,
jewelry.
there could have been a lot more teeth involved, which would have given you could have
Well,
given you a really layer of unsettledness for sure.
yes,
I
and
like this. We're gonna make this movie better as we go through it. We're gonna make
but
this
back to
movie.
what you said in the beginning of our record, where you're like, if they would have played into the whole tooth thing a lot
Yeah.
more, like that's a real fear for humans.
Have you seen
I
Bringer?
I mean, it's
Have
been a
you
while
seen?
since I've had a teeth dream, but you've had teeth nightmares, right? Where they're all falling out and you're
Oh
like
yeah,
or they
yeah.
turn into powder, whatever.
Oh, I've never had that one.
I've had
No.
yeah, where they, like, falling out of my mouth and they're, like, turning into powder, like teeth powder.
Yeah, usually it's like from what I've read, our subconscious is like, oh, if your teeth are falling out, it's like you have something to say that you're not willing to say or some bullshit like that. But it could be wrong, or you just had a lot of candy that night.
Yeah.
But have you watched Bring Her Back?
No, fuck. I need to watch
Ok-
that though. That looks
Okay,
so good.
okay. So then there might be some mouth play in that.
Yeah, no, I've seen a little bit of a clip where I was unsettled, but I
There,
still
there's so
really
there,
wanna see it.
That's where I go back to the story. There is a couple of things. I don't know a whole lot of movies that have the Tooth Fairy as like the main protagonist. I'm pretty sure they are out there, and I'm pretty sure we can find some. And maybe we'll do like a compare and contrast for the Instagram and TikTok page or social media
I
pages.
mean, I think there literally is a horror movie called The Tooth Fairy, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, let's look it up. Let's look it up.
Mm.
There is Channel Zero season one has a very iconic, I don't even say character because I don't think it's the villain of a creature made out of teeth. And you don't realize that till and I think it's kind of like a tooth fairy sort of a fucking deal. And it is super unsettling. And the way they made it, and it's super iconic. Like it's stuck
Well,
with me.
because the Tooth Fairy in general, as a fairy tale or folklore or whatever, is quite a terrifying concept. This little lady takes your teeth and leaves you money? What is she
Well,
doing
that
with
was the other
this?
thing. I was listening. I was like, wait a minute. Like, why is Martha Dixon giving teeth like money for teeth? Like, what is she doing with her teeth? Like, maybe she was a witch. Like, maybe the town did have a right to fucking burn it.
Or
Or I'm not
maybe she
actually
was
confused.
a little crazy. Why was she taking
Maybe,
this kid's teeth?
yeah. What's up with the fucking teeth? That's what the first thing as a parent now. I'm just like, no, I'm not letting anybody near my fucking kids. That if I trust you or not. Yeah. Let's see. There's got to be a list here somewhere. So then we jump to, I guess, whatever, 100 years later. It's 2003, or it's actually 1990 something.
Oh,
Uh,
when the Kyle guy is like a boy,
Actually, it's
right?
1990. Yeah, yeah. It's actually supposed to be
Yeah.
like 19. So Kyle's a boy. He loses his first tooth. He has a nice little romantic, intimate moment with another 13-year-old, 12-year-old kid. His life is looking up. He's going to the dance next week if he makes it.
He's got a
Like,
crush.
yeah, he's got a crush. Life is looking up. He's lost his last tooth. He's becoming a little bit of a young man. He's going to get some money, and then he sees the first glimpse of our tooth fairy Martha Dixon, and I actually think the opening's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I
The
like the opening. I think that's what I remember being so scared or so scary about it.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. The
Yeah.
sound design for her scream, I think, are fucking on point. It is actually wailing of an elderly person played forwards and backwards, I think. It is pretty solid. I actually do like the design of the Tooth Fairy Martha Dixon, like this whole like ominous floating figure with fucking all the cloak floating around. The mask could give or take, but
Yeah.
her aesthetic is, I think, pretty on point. Even though it wasn't the original design, it
She's
was
very screamy.
very screamy. I think it's super great. It actually really creeps me out. I think it
Yeah.
actually works to its benefit. The original design was done by a guy named Jonathan Wang, and the Tooth Fairy actually kind of looked more fairy-esque, but had like no mouth and a bunch of like jagged little fucking teeth. It I think it looked pretty solid, but she looked very mummified, no eyes. I don't know if
Okay.
they were gonna do the mask aesthetic sort of a deal. Um, but unfortunately to this movie, like they filmed all this stuff with, I guess, no creature, and then all the creature stuff was put in post credits. So then I guess the original design wasn't received well. I actually don't know what the story was, and was redesigned by the legendary Stan Winston of Alien and all like a million other movies. And I guess that a little bit more simplified, but like creepier sort of aesthetic. except where when you remove the mask, and of course, when you remove the mask, she's, a horrified, melty creature lady,
Yeah.
you know? And for the final scene, turns out that was just one giant puppet. I totally thought it was some lady in there or some actor, but no, you could
It was
sort
just
of,
a puppet.
big old life size puppet. Man, not bad. So then Kyle is unfortunately he is framed for the murder of his mother, and I'm like, what cop would have been like,
What
yeah, this
universe?
yeah, what police officer, with very little evidence is going to be like, this boy obviously snapped his mother's neck in half. Like that's the other thing too. So now if she's seen once, now she's just going to kill anybody who sees her because she's just hanging out.
Yes, okay,
Like,
thank you for bringing that up. I was like, I thought this was just, like, a kids thing. She kills kids. But no, it's like, since this little boy saw her, now she haunts him forever and ever?
well, she's the one that got away, right? So like,
Right.
I don't know, but then
I
also too many rules.
too
Also,
many rules. Can't follow this.
like if she was just seeking revenge, then she would kill all the children, and then didn't matter if they were giving their teeth or not, or if they saw her. Yeah, like you could have had this other story where like the parents are really scared in this town, they can't afford to move away because whatever inflation, and then they don't talk about the tooth fairy, and they really try to hide the fact that like kids teeth go missing or something, like, or kids teeth fall out because all the children end up dying in this fucking town, and very few kids make it out unless they get like all their teeth surgically removed or some bullshit like that. I don't know, you could have had some sort of Freddy-esque sort of like urban legend town where they
Yes.
kind of like,
Because at some point, it just becomes this full on, like, you just have to stay in the light and then you're safe. And what I mean, I guess that's fine, but it got to the point where it was just so overused and very like Scooby Doo. Like
yeah,
the little
yeah.
boy's going into the MRI machine and he has like this much light on his eyes, and they're like, "Don't let him get into the dark." And I was like,
No,
"Right,
I
like, what are we
mean,
doing?"
she could have easily just grabbed his foot. It would have been fine.
Yes.
She was just busy at the time.
Like, so this, like, my one finger is like, as long as it's in the light, fine.
I'm good. No, too many rules.
It's too
The
many rules. It's too many rules.
So then Kyle goes off to a mental institution, foster homes. He moves away from Darkness Falls. 12 years later, these kids are all 40 all of a sudden. And then it is Kyle and his once, um, his, I guess, unrequited love
Yes, the
of,
girl that he was crushing on in the beginning, and they were supposed to go to the dance together.
played by Emily Browning,
Famous
as the
from
young
Buffy.
girl. Famous for, well, Emma Caulfield is the grown up Caitlin. Young
Yes.
Caitlin is Emily Browning, who's been in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
she's been in tons of
yeah, I can't remember what she's in, but she was like in
she was
like
a big
Sucker
kid
Punch.
actor, but then
Yeah,
she's also, acted as an adult as well.
so she calls, she tracks down Kyle, who's living in Las Vegas. Either he's a gamer or he works in casinos, one or the other. He doesn't. They don't really specify because they mention both of them. And then I mean, that is a good trope. They want to stay in a city that never sleeps. There's always constant light going around. Even his whole flashlight addiction is kind of fucking funny. He stocks
Yes.
them up like guns. I think that was pretty well done. And then she tracks him down and basically saying that how did he ever get his phobia of the dark? Um, and Martha Dixon, and he's like, I never did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he comes
I'd
he comes
never
back.
turn off the lights.
I never turn off the lights. He's got like a generator in his room, and he's got a bunch of like these extra lights installed. I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah, that works,
If
I
that
guess. But I
ever
don't think
happened to me, if I was, like, dating a guy that could never turn off the lights, my friend would be like, "Are you afraid of the tooth fairy?" Like
like, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine. Like, so, like, would you sleep with like an eye mask on, but then like your eyes are in the dark? So, like, can
Then,
she get you
therefore,
through the?
you're all in the dark? Where's this
Like, can't
logic?
way too many rules, not enough rules.
It's
I
too
don't
many
know.
rules.
Yeah,
Scooby Doo. What's going on?
But I guess she never leaves town because I don't think she ever goes after him. Because like it would be interesting if like she like kind of like the I don't know. I feel like this is very Ring-esque. Like he can't escape it no matter where he is. But does that mean yeah? So like she has city limits. Like you know,
I don't
we don't.
Yeah, she as long
Much
as
like this
it's
movie.
if it's dark, she can go there, right?
I don't know.
What are does she have city limits?
I was gonna say there are no rules. There's too many
There's
rules.
no rules. But is he safe
Uh,
from her in Vegas? But then he goes back, and that's when she starts to get him.
yeah, I feel like all right. She's for a ghost demon. Apparently, she's haunting the town. All right, so I guess she can't leave the town.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
so as soon as he gets back, he meets our young whippersnapper, who's also um, who is Caitlyn's little brother, Michael. We don't get any backstory of why Caitlyn is
has a little
Michael's
brother. Why
guardian.
can't he just be her kid?
True,
That's like
100%.
I don't know why that bugged me so much. I was like, why can't he just be the kid? Like, why
Well,
is it her little brother?
because if they were like 10 or 13, like, and then it was 12 years later and they're like 24, and this kid's almost like 10, she would have
Okay,
had this kid
sure.
when she would
But
have
they
had this kid
all
like
look
at,
40.
yeah, she would have
So
had this kid like at 15, 16. So it was just like, the math wasn't mathing, uh, even though they could have just made him whatever age.
I
Like,
know. I just for some reason I feel like it would have been a little bit better the storyline if it was just like her kid. Especially since there's like the romance part of it.
yeah, it doesn't really,
But there isn't
like,
also. Like they don't ever really like
Kyle's too, yeah, he's too just involved in himself.
he's just like he's too like you have to stay in the light and like
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about Caitlyn.
he's so shallow. Like I guess I mean I could say shallow, but thin. Like there's no depth to any of these characters whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's yeah, you're right. Like I don't care about Caitlyn. Like
I
I'm
don't
like
care about Kyle. I don't care about the little brother. I'm just like, okay.
care
Like
about the little brother a little bit.
little
I
bit because
mean,
it's a
man.
kid, but nothing else. You're no
Nothing.
one's like letting me think that I should care. All of you guys are
Uh,
pretty like
yeah, fair. I barely care about Kyle. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Apparently
he's
it's his
not,
story, his curse. And I'm like,
but he doesn't
okay.
even seem like that sympathetic, like there's no like I do see that he's like a little tortured when he eventually he gets back to town, introduces himself to Kaylin and Michael. Him and Michael have like a little bit of a bond, even though he doesn't want to admit it. That they both have seen Martha Dixon. They have this lawyer friend who is only, obviously we know it's their friend because he wears glasses as a child and as an adult. So he's like, oh, he must be this kid, Larry, who's the lawyer, who's
Yes.
into Caitlin. And, he takes Kyle to the bar and he's just like, "You really should have told me you were coming back, dude. I don't even know you guys were friends. Like,
Dude, I don't even know you. Why would I tell you that I'm coming back? Like this guy just
I don't
you
even
really should have
fucking
told me you were coming back into town. Bro, we haven't talked in 14 years.
yeah. I didn't talk to you back then.
But I'm supposed
So
to call you up and
but I just wanted to really like get to the point where like that scene of him being unsettled and him like sort of living with his trauma, I thought was to the movie's credit. Like anything in darkness, like kind of like freaks him out. He's having like these little bits of flashbacks. Obviously, he's taking these fucking antipsychotics for better or for fucking worse. Like he is fucking on edge. She's even like, I can't drink. I'm on medication.
Yeah.
Like they really try to like, hit it home. Hence why he doesn't give a fuck about Caitlyn because he's just so fucking wrapped up in his own fucking shit, you know?
Yeah.
And
It's like
then,
I'm like 2 seconds away from having a manic episode. Like I
dude,
don't like there's no
like
way
I want,
romance is even like
yeah, like I want, like, it is a very,
yeah.
100%. Yeah. Like I'm sure other people have dealt with that anxiety. Like there's too many people here. We should go,
Yeah. Oh
like
yeah.
it's a little, very similar, very relatable.
Yes, very relatable, but once again, we still don't care
You just
about
don't give a
Kyle.
fuck. Yeah. I was like, the only thing I was like, oh, cool. good editing.
Yeah. Right? Like, okay, cool.
So then one of the town locals confronts Kyle and calling him his was it? He killed said that he killed his mama, and then
Yeah,
they
they
go
start
outside
making
and they,
fun of him for that. Mm.
yeah, if he was if he was a killer, man, I don't know if I would be like accosting him in public.
Yeah. "Hey, you
Yeah,
fucking freak, you killed your mom." Don't how
yeah.
about, like, let's not.
It's not. Yeah. So this is where the movie actually kind of like I thought would have been more interesting because in the original script, it was supposed to be that we weren't going to get any Tooth Fairy action until the very end of the movie, and it was going to be that it was going to be is Kyle actually kind of crazy sort of movie. And is he actually killing these people? Which I thought would have been very fun. But then
Yeah,
I guess you would have had to do away with maybe no, you still could have done your opening scene. You still could have done
they
your
coulda
cold
still done
open.
left it the same, but the ending just had been he had been the one losing it after, like, he witnessed his mom get murdered.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
like,
it
he
just kind
witnessed
of
his
just
mom get murdered by maybe not the Tooth Fairy, but maybe someone disguising themselves, whatever, it's his whole thing, and then he
y-
becomes this fucking Tooth Fairy and kills people.
I mean, they're good at editing, so they could have done it
Yeah,
any number of ways where it was just like maybe it was him and his mom and there was somebody else that in the room or there wasn't, or depending on the magic of editing, you could have possibly seen something, but it could have been him. And then he's just traumatized by the events of it. The And then from there, it just kind of fucking snowballs and just becomes this big smorgasbord of like just one big chase scene,
mhm,
more or less, just jumping ping ponging around. Kyle goes to the hospital, then he gets arrested, and then then he gets out of jail, and then he's in the forest, and then he gets in a gnarly crash that I'm sure would have killed anybody else. But
yes.
Kyle, because he's our protagonist, is saved. But like, yeah, not wearing your seatbelt and just fucking flying through a fucking window, and then just walking it off. I want to
Walking it
say
off.
maybe the antipsychotics. It's just
Yes.
like,
Well, he
uh,
takes a fucking bowl of them every
dude,
day.
the and then they ping pong back to the hospital where they jump over to another chase scene, and then we jump over to the lighthouse for a big final opening, and then there's a bunch of Tooth Fairy killing everybody on the way in between,
Tooth Fairy
like
killing a bunch of people on the during this whole thing, and then they
yeah,
get to their final battle in the
like
lighthouse.
I'm like it was rated PG-13, even though IMDb trivia says the movie was rated R. And I feel like, all right, so with this type of movie, I think it just would have been done a little bit better if maybe we had a little bit more gore, a little bit more. She just
Yes.
like snaps people's necks, she lifts them up, she tosses them on the floor. Our deaths aren't very like intricate or involved or torturous. We hear a lot of stuff in the background, a lot of screaming, and I'm like,
The
I mean, it is
movie
terrifying, like to like get.
definitely holds up as far as, like, the ambiance of it, the sound design, the screaming of the Tooth Fairy, but you're right, there isn't a lot of gore. I would have appreciated that a little bit more in some of the deaths. Like, you coulda just gored it up a little bit, gave it an R rating, and this could have been a more enjoyable watch.
Well, I mean, we've seen some gnarly stuff in some PG-13 movies, and like I would have said just like ride it as far as you can go, like film all that stuff and then whatever you have to edit out, to get that PG-13. Like it's like what the first hillbilly gets his neck snapped and gets like fucking scratched and he gets fucking fall on the floor. Larry, he gets lifted up. We don't really know what happens, but
Mhm.
he gets some head injuries on the way there. All the cops just get lifted into the fucking air and
Yeah.
they're fucking thrown around. Like we don't actually see what happens to any of these fucking people, but everybody's fucking dead. You know?
It's like Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, but
Doesn't
Jeepers
Jeepers
Creepers
Creepers
had
do
some
that?
but Jeepers
No, but
Creepers
no,
had
Jeepers
some
Creepers is, like, far more of a terrifying movie, but I just meant, like, when he kills people, when he kidnaps them, he just remember he just
oh,
swipes them
yeah,
up?
that's true, but there is a lot of, like, I would say, like, gore, kinda, like, very visceral scenes kind of, like, around it, right? Like, Justin
Yeah,
Long
yeah.
loses his fucking eyes, right? There
Mhm.
is a bunch of, like aren't there a bunch of, like, dead bodies in, like, his, like, little mausoleum?
Oh, yeah,
thing,
that thing's
you know?
gross.
Was this rated PG-13?
Jeepers Creepers is rated R.
Is it?
It has to be. The dead people mausoleum is shocking.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I just think the Tooth Fairy needed more teeth. Do you know how creepy you can get with teeth? Like, she should have had some teeth jewelry. A
Like the
teeth
mask,
sword.
the tooth sword, a
Mask.
tooth and a
Mask
dagger.
made of teeth.
Yeah, mask made of teeth would have been. I mean, I like to say that Sam Winston didn't do a fucking good job, but like, but yeah, something. Yeah, because after the first initial tooth loss, and then the second one with Michael, maybe we never come across any fucking tooth related items or tooth paraphernalia till the end of the movie.
Missed the mark, guys. You just missed the
You're
mark. It could have
yeah,
you could have done anything else with the same ghost thing, right? It didn't have to be teeth. It didn't have to be a tooth fairy. You could have it still could have been supernatural.
no, you're right. It was rated. It was rated R. I was totally wrong. Uh, Courtney wins.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way Jeepers Creepers is PG-13.
Totally thought. Yeah, who knew? All right.
Maybe the third one, because that one sucks.
That one's not great. I was like, wait, was that the one in the school? Or is there
No,
four of
the
them?
school's the second one. The third one, wait, there is still some school themes in the third one because the third one lets
No, the
you
third
know
one.
what the third one lets you
Sorry,
know what happens between the first and second one.
he's like
Which,
in the third one, he's like a prequel, isn't it?
yeah, which is no one wants that. Everyone wants to know what happens after the fucking bus.
The third one I thought was okay. There's a fourth one that is
Oh.
not great. I think it's Jeepers Creepers Resurrection. And it looks like a shot on like a fucking
There was
Samsung
one, I
Galaxy.
don't know if it's the third or the fourth one, but it was mostly shot during the day. Like there was very minimal nighttime scenes, which is bonkers to me.
Which is the one with like the big harpoon gun?
I think that's the third one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the third one. Third one I think was okay. Yeah, I
Oh,
was like, oh, okay.
I don't think
You
I
know,
liked it.
I mean, fair. I mean, it's not great. It's not
Yeah.
great. I was just like, I was like, big harpoon gun. Sure. Why do they have a harpoon gun in a fucking farm? It doesn't make it. Yeah. No. Don't
Yeah,
think
you're
about
right. No, I remember not liking it.
it. Yeah. Like, what purpose does this harpoon gun
Yes.
serve?
I totally have a harpoon gun.
Yeah. Welded to the middle of the floor of my barn.
Yeah,
Obviously. I think it's
obviously.
something along the, I think like, if I remember correctly, it's that they know it was coming, so like they were prepared or something like that. I think maybe the dad was like, I'm ready for it this time. Some kind of shit. It could be wrong. Yeah. So moving along.
Anyway, Darkness
Our,
Falls.
yeah,
Needed more
Darkness Falls,
teeth.
our big climax scene. Yeah. Which is fine. You know, it happens at a lighthouse, which I'm like, okay, a big flashlight, sure, why not? But I don't even think like that stops her.
No,
Like she,
it's the flaming arm that Kyle
yeah,
puts his
but
arm on fire to like rip her mask off and then like shove his burning arm in her face.
yeah, he punches her in the face.
He punches her in the face. He
Punches
punches
in the
this
face.
tooth fairy in the face, I guess.
If this movie was like maybe like like really cheesy, I would have been like, oh, that's kind of fucking hardcore. I mean, it is kind of hardcore and it is fine, but I'm like, yeah, okay. So like, he lights her on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy peasy.
The ultimate lights her on fire.
Yeah, like, and then explodes, teeth go everywhere, and then I'm sure these people are never gonna sleep ever again after that.
There should have been a second one. You're right. They should have made a second one.
It could have been fun.
It could have been fun.
Well, not to mention, so speaking of second ones and Tooth Fairy related movies, we do have the Tooth Fairy franchise or the Tooth Fairy collection, which is the Tooth Fairy 2019. Then we have Return of the Tooth Fairy. I think this is all like the same franchise. Then the Tooth Fairy, The Last Extraction. And then the Tooth Fairy, Queen of Pain, 2022.
Ooh.
And then Tooth Fairy, Drill to Kill.
Drill to Kill.
Yeah, and I feel like I have to watch all of these.
I feel like I need to watch all of these too. Wasn't there a comedy movie called The Tooth Fairy starring The Rock?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Nailed it.
You
Yeah,
should watch that too.
I guess there's not a lot of Tooth Fairy related, like.
But all those other ones are just like the horror franchise, obviously, with the Tooth Fairy. I've never seen it.
Yeah, no. So going back to the design of it, they McFarlane Toys used to make these really detailed figures of horror movie icons, and they called like movie maniacs or something like that. Um, and they do a bunch of stuff. They do like realistic like characters from movies. They do like sports figurines. They do like their own stuff from his comic book IP and stuff like that. So he has this whole like Hellraiser series, where he just likes to do like Cenobites, which are super amazing. That have like nothing to do with the movies, just like random shit that like their company's making up. And then they had a Tooth Fairy figure, but based on the original design, which I guess they had sent to production. Then since they redid it in post production, it is a completely different design and is just called the Tooth Fairy and doesn't have anything to do with this movie now, I guess, other than it was the original concept for the movie. And I think that's the only way we know this exists is
Right.
because this was the original design. But I think they took the title of the movie off of the packaging.
It
So it's
got
just called,
lost in production. It got
yeah.
someone lot because like,
So,
the acting's bad because the script is bad. Like, I don't think those people are necessarily bad actors, it was just the script is, like, snooze.
yeah, it's fine. Even though they say even though where we're reading online and be like, oh, this movie has a resurgence, and has a cult following. I'm like, does it?
Does it though? Yeah, I'm like, I love me cult classics, I don't think this is one of
I think this There is another isn't there another Darkness movie with like Anna Paquin or something? And I think I was getting it confused with that.
Is it just called The Darkness?
Is that
No?
what? Is that what it is?
Or is
And
there
then there's
another
another.
Darkness Falls?
No, there's not another Darkness Falls. I would have found it in all this
Right.
stupid research.
All the stupid research I have to do for this.
Yeah, not the. I mean, it went by very quickly. There wasn't much on it, but
Yeah.
now
No,
I'm in.
it's look, it is a quick watch, and I mean that. If anyone is like me that likes a nice quick one, there you go. It's
And I think it was like another like Darkness movie around the same time that like, oh yeah, look at that, The Darkness.
Oh, is that what it's called? The Darkness?
It just called Darkness. Yeah, the year before, a supernatural horror film. Let's see, in the early 1960s, a cult disappearance of 6 young children in the Spanish countryside. Relocated to a large country setting in Barcelona. The family have partly been okay. Yeah, sort of like a satanic occult movie. Oh, okay, less Tooth Fairy esque. And I think there's another one with Jennifer Connelly. I think called Dark Water. Let's find out. I think.
Dark. That band from the late or was it early 2000s called The Darkness?
Oh, that was yeah, Dark Water, 2005, supernatural horror movie.
Natural horror movie.
But this, yeah, 2 years later. Oh, based on a Japanese author's story. Interesting. All right, well, we'll do that eventually. Oh, won some horror movie awards. Okay. So watch those movies, guys.
Yeah. Watch
This movie's
those.
fun.
Probably never gonna watch this movie ever again.
You can watch it with your friends, make fun of it, and then
Yeah.
have a shot every time you see Martha Dixon on screen, which is a lot.
Or take a shot every time they tell you to turn off the lights. Or no, wait,
No,
no, to keep the lights on.
stay in the line. Yeah. Keep the lights on.
Keep the lights on.
Or every time you hear Martha Dixon scream, take a shot.
Oh, yeah. Make a fun
Yeah.
drinking game out of it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get alcohol poisoning by
Yeah.
the end for sure. Yeah, I don't even know how many people like. I'd like to go see like the kill count, like on Dead Meat or something like that. See how many people actually die. She takes out a lot of people,
She
and like,
does. Yeah, what
what's
is
the
her
next?
death count?
Yeah, there's like how many? Like, what do you? How do you explain that? Like, eventually, you just have to like leave town because
Excuse me, I have to let this
much
dog
like
out.
no worries. I'll just keep going because
I'm gonna
much like Kyle being framed for the murder of his mother in the beginning of the movie, I'm sure he's going to be framed for the murder of all these innocent people in
Yes.
the movie. We
If they were
have,
so quick to believe that he killed his mom.
yeah, 90% of the police force is dead except for that one cop that comes to save the day.
Yeah.
You know, Well, no, I
Like
think he dies later. So 100% of the police force is fucking dead. A few of the nurses and that doctor, um, the lawyer, the hillbilly.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of people.
Going back
Yeah.
into that theory of the fact that it's Kyle the whole time.
Yeah, coincidentally,
Yeah.
if we're a small town, coincidentally, our most notorious killer has come back to town and now 30 people are dead the next day. Like
Yes.
that is
This guy came back into town, the next day 30 people are dead. Mm,
if I know anything about police investigation, it's usually the simplest answer is usually the correct answer. Like it's
yes.
usually the husband or the boyfriend or the wife did it, sort of a
Yeah.
deal. Like, what?
It's never like a random act, it's someone you know.
Yeah, yeah. Kyle's fucked. Kyle is so
Kyle's
fucking
fucked.
screwed.
Kyle
Yeah,
did
yeah.
it.
Kyle did. Like, regardless if there's no evidence, there's also no, except for maybe Caitlyn, but they're
Yeah.
gonna be like she's biased because she's obviously in love with him. Yeah, yeah. No, it's not. Yeah. So yeah, Darkness Falls. All right. 2 out of 10 teeth.
Yeah, 2 out of 10 teeth. It's quick if you wanna go watch it, but,
Yeah, that's fine.
I was disappointed because I remember being terrified of this movie, but I think it was just the first 15 minutes.
So when was the first time you saw it?
I would assume 2003, 2004. I didn't
You
see it
would have
in
been
theaters,
you
so
would have been about how old?
13, 14.
Oh, okay. So around his age. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember, like, when I was really young, like, just looking at the poster for horror movies, like, scared the fuck out of me. Like, early '90s when I was, like, in my preteens, I was remember looking for the posters at, like, Hellraiser, Bloodlines, and I'm like, "Oh my god, it looks so scary." And then I'm
Yeah.
watching it, and I'm like, "Oh, this is the worst thing ever." Like, why was I ever scared of this fucking movie just based on the poster? Just your imagination's way better, of spooking you. Yeah, the poster had nothing to do with the fucking movie. It's like, yeah, and I think the poster of this movie and the monster on the poster isn't the monster that's at the end of this movie.
I don't think so either. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think it is either.
then why would you give away the monster on the fucking cover of the book? Yeah, it doesn't. No, no. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right.
2,
We'll see you guys.
yeah, 2 out of 10 teeth.
All right. We'll see you guys
Sorry
next
about
time.
the barking dog.
That's okay. It was only at the end. That's fine.
Yeah, it should be easy.
Yeah, yeah. Usually, I don't think that it picks up background noise, and if it is, it's only at the end. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Alright.
Yeah. Not back.